Hey everybody, KC here. So, we're all familiar with the term Hollywood ending, right? And that's like, it always refers to a TV show or a movie where, no matter what the odds against the protagonist or the team or whatever it happens to be, no matter what the odds are, they end up winning in the end. And that's a Hollywood ending. And Hollywood endings are not usually like real life endings are, except there's this great story that maybe you've been tracking out of California, okay? And it's about the California School for the Deaf Riverside. And they have a football team called the Cubs. And the Cubs have been in existence for 68 years. And they have perpetually, and I think this is not an overstatement, they've always stunk. They have just, they are not a good team. Now, they actually play in a league where the rules are a little bit different. They've only got 130 students. So they play in this 8-player league designed for smaller schools, the California Interscholastic Federation Southern Division II. And it's really interesting. But this year, for some reason, and it's probably not just some reason, the Cubs were really, really good. In fact, they went 12-0 before going to the championship game in their league just this past weekend. And they weren't just winning a little bit. They were winning by almost 50 points every game. Their first game was a 68-0 rout. Their second game was a 46-0 rout. I mean, they were winning big. And when people would ask them about this, because, this got a lot of attention in the media, basically what they said is we practice strong, we play together, we're like a brotherhood, we're like a family. Now, every player on the team is deaf, ends up so is the coach. And a lot of people think it's because the coach is deaf that he connected to his students his players, students in a very different way and was able to get the most out of them because he understood them in a different kind of way. And boy, is that a business lesson. Well, okay, Hollywood endings aside, this weekend they played in the championship game, and frankly, the team that they were playing, which was a team called the Faith Baptist, which Faith Baptist always goes to the championships and always wins the championship. Well, in this case, the Cubs were not able to pull it out, and they were defeated in the championship game. Faith Baptist once again hoisted the trophy. But the interesting thing is that the guys on the Cubs, their feeling is, no, something. This has just raised expectations for what's possible. We're going to come back and we're going to go all the way next season. And when I think about that, something? That is a Hollywood ending. Because, in Rocky 1, Rocky lost to Apollo Creed. Not so much in Rocky 2. So maybe this will end up being a Hollywood ending after all. But what I certainly think it's this amazing story about how teamwork can really create the difference between a losing organization and a winning organization, and leadership that really understands how the people on the front lines, in this case, quite literally the front lines, what their issues are, what their priorities are, and how they play the game. Boy, if you have a coach or CEO who understands that can make all the difference in the world. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.